So while I'm putting fiber optic in, tell me, so like you have a STEM related job, and how did you get into doing STEM stuff in the first place? How did you get to, what you're doing today?
So for a living, I work in the security industry as a engineer for one of the Chinese manufacturers, and I've been doing this for more than 10 years now, and I love that job and pretty good at it. And but at the end of the day, it doesn't result in anything looking very pretty. And
That's true. You have, unrequited creative angst, right?
yeah, and I really wanted to make something that was prettier than putting up security cameras. Like it serves a purpose and it's very functional, but at the end of the day, even when you do your best work, it's not going to be very pretty. So
Well, it seems maybe there's a market there, JP.
I
Beautiful security.
don't know about that, but I just wanted to make something that looked a little bit prettier than what I do for a living, and I've acquired a lot of skills along the way that are easily transferable. Got started with Raspberry Pis and things like that, and they're a great building block. I've bought a lot of guys that have worked for me Raspberry Pis because you can infer from the behavior of a Raspberry Pi a lot of similar problems and issues and methodology for troubleshooting with cameras and other devices that are using similar chipsets.
Mhm.
without,
Yeah.
without getting myself into trouble. But they're a great set of building blocks if you can get your hands on them now. Back in my day, they were
Yeah.
10 or 15 bucks, depending on which one you were getting at Micro Center. But nowadays they're a little bit more unless you can find them. And eventually got hooked on Arduinos, ESP82 66s and later 32s. They're great, and they're a fairly consequence-free way to learn how to do things that they transition into the real world with like industrial application and other things like that. Almost 1-1. I mean, it's really easy to. I mean, G code is used in a lot more places than 3D printers.
Right. Yeah. That's funny. How did you get into security and computers and stuff like that in the first place? Did you just kind of always grow up around computers and using computers, and you knew that you wanted to do something technical from when you were young, or were you like kind of introduced to tech at some point in your life and then went from there?
No, I've always been around computers. I've always loved computers. I had my own phone line when I was a kid because I was tying up the phone lines all the time on my modems.
Yep.
So I've got two or three Apple IIs, a couple of Commodores over
Hey,
my storage. I've always loved computers.
cool.
They're a great way to build all kinds of cool stuff.